Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Ryan and welcome back to Iowa Classic Cars. I figured since I've already showed you two of my classic cars, I'd show you my third. This is my nicest one I've got. This is the first car that actually got me into old cars, restoring old cars, and basically just having a fun driver. So with that being said, this is my 1981 Camaro Z28. This is the last year, the second generation F-body platform, you know, the Camaro and Trans Am Firebird series. This ran from 1970 to 1981. The 70 through 73 is kind of the highly sought after, you know, split bumper generation, but this is the same body, the same platform, just a little different styling, such as the rear window wraps around after 1975. But this car actually has a pretty awesome history with my family. This is a 1981 Camaro, like I said, but my dad bought this car in the spring of 1983 out of Knoxville, Iowa, so it's been in Iowa its whole life. We've actually met the original owner of this car, whose son is actually now a senator in Iowa, so that's kind of neat that it's got a little bit of history to it. I've got the original window sticker for the car, the build sheet for the car, and this car actually books at $12,150 brand new. So the base model Camaro, I believe, was $8,200, $8,400, somewhere in that range. This car has about every option you can get. And talking to the original owner, this was actually like a showroom promo car. He bought it right off the dealership showroom. He was a doctor, so he did have some money, and it kind of shows with all the options on this car. So with that being said, let's talk about it. So first things first, and the most basic thing about this car is that it is a Z28. Now in 81, the Z28 really didn't have that much performance. This has got a 350 5.7 liter engine, and it made out about 185 horsepower. So really, the big muscle car days were gone, but you got a lot more style. So for that, you got the lower chin spoiler with the tritone stripe. You got the cowl induction hood, which actually functions, and I'll explain that in a little bit. You got some air dams in the fenders, along with the tricolor stripes on the side. You also got these rear flares on the quarter panels. And finally, you got a three-piece spoiler. They also put quite a few Z28 badges throughout the car. There's one on the steering wheel. There were two originally on the door panels. There's one back there on the gas door, and then one in the grill. So they definitely wanted you to know that this was a Z28. So this car is actually done in Code 29 Midnight Blue. This is the factory color. It is actually identical to the same color. I didn't want to really change it at all. I only did add a little bit of metal flake to the paint. The stripes are a tritone silver, and that is also correct to the car. This car is actually one of the few that I like when they're fully restored, the way that they came off the showroom floor. I think some guys get kind of crazy with the concours stuff and, you know, going nuts on exact color paint and all that stuff, but in this case, with it being so special to my family, I wanted to kind of keep the originality of the car intact, just add some modern amenities such as a vinyl interior. So like I was saying, this is a dealer promo car, and it has nearly every option you could have got in 1981. Some of them are very easy and very, you know, cost ineffective, such as the trim right here around the hood. You could have got that. It's like a $4 option. A lot of people didn't because, you know, who's going to spend $4 on just some trim here? But that was done in this case. Same with the door edge guards here. That was an option, as well as the door side edge guard. The car also has Fisher T-tops. These are not aftermarket. This is actually the GM factory T-top. These come off with just a simple unlatch of the handle, and you pull them right off of there. They used to leak quite a bit, but I got a lot of new weather stripping put in there and some sealant, and it doesn't leak anymore. But, you know, there are occasional times when it's a torrential downpour, or, you know, you're stuck at a red light and you can't move, and you will get a couple drops of water, so they aren't watertight, but if you're driving in a rainstorm, you won't get wet at all. This car has also got the optional N90 aluminum wheel. I think these look a whole lot better than the stock steel rally wheels. And these also came on mid-80s Monte Carlos. Now going into the car here, the mirror on the driver's side is remote, which was an option. Car's got power locks, power windows, tilt and cruise. I've actually disabled the cruise because it's kind of a fire hazard, with 40-year-old wiring, but it still does work. It's hard to see right there, but there is a knob to adjust the position of the driver's seat. That is actually one of the rarest options on 81 Camaros, I've been told. I've only ever seen one other car besides mine with that option. Not like it really does a whole lot to the car or, makes the drivability any much better, but still it is cool that this car does have it. In addition, the car has got intermittent wipers, which is actually kind of uncommon on these cars. I've only seen a handful of them with the variable speed wipers for some reason. Air conditioning, and at one time it did have the deluxe AM/FM cassette radio. I did pull that out of the car when we started restoring it, but I still have it. I just figured, why put a 40-year-old radio in with a cassette deck in 2020? So here's a little more of the interior. I kept it a stock style. I left the stock trim on, but I did want it to be custom in that aspect. I don't plan on selling this car, so it didn't need to be 100% correct, but I wanted to keep the original bones of the car. For instance, I kept the original console, the original trim, the original dash pad, the original steering wheel. All that stuff is original to the car, but such as the vinyl color, the vinyl pattern, stuff like that, that really didn't bother me a whole lot. I also added two 6x9s in the back and a custom stereo. So excuse how dirty it is here under the hood. This car's been sitting now for about a month, and really this summer I didn't take it to too many car shows, so I wasn't wiping it down probably as much as I should have been, but it is what it is. The motor and transmission are numbers matching. The rear end is numbers matching. Everything about this car is pretty much original. I do have all the parts I took off the car upstairs in storage, so anything that isn't original, I do have. So this motor is the original 350, but the only thing that is still correct on the block itself is the block. The heads are an Edelbrock cast iron head. You have an RPM air gap intake, 600 Edelbrock carburetor, the factory AC pump, and the cruise control brain. I actually had to replace that because the speedometer quit working, and in cruise cars, most times it's that brain goes bad. Put a Griffin radiator in it just to keep it cooler. And there's my massive power wire for my radio. So the engine builder that did this told me it's between 4 and 4.25 horse. So it definitely motivates down the road. It's about 9.5 to 1 compression. So not terrible. I can run it on pump gas. So with the air induction system, I've actually disconnected it the way it originally worked, which was by pressing the foot feed all the way down to the floor. How it now works, I'll show you here. Get the hood down. Is I've got a switch on the dash right there, and at any time you can switch it on, and these louvers right here will open up. Pretty neat that it does function. But at the same time, if you want to suck in air, I would rather have it up here, to be more functional, I guess, for helping you with getting some extra horsepower, but it is a cool feature that this car does have. So that is the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, my walk around in my Camaro, please make sure to give it a thumbs up to support the video. Leave a comment with your favorite car of all time, as well as subscribing if you are new to the channel for more car videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Ryan. Have a great night, and I'll catch you in the next video.